Hello friends, welcome to my channel ELS English Literature Studies with Gaur Harpreet. Today I will talk about symbolism, which is a late 19th century art, and its aim is to represent absolute truth symbolically. So let's get started. Before starting, it is a kind of reminder that if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it, and if you like the content, please hit the like button. For moral support, and it will cost nothing to you if you will subscribe my channel. So let's get started. The word symbolism, it is derived from the Greek word. This is the Greek word symbolin, which means sim means together and melin means to throw, right? The word symbolism is derived from the Greek word which means to throw together. With symbolism, authors create layers of meanings. Because symbols often have more than one meaning, so authors create layers of meanings, right? Symbolism gives the writer freedom to add double levels of meaning to his works. First meaning is a literal one, and second is the symbolic one. Literal one, that is self-evident, and a symbolic one whose meaning is far more profound than the literal one, right? Now, symbolism was a late 19th century art, and what was its aim? Its aim is to represent absolute truth symbolically. Its aim is to represent absolute truth symbolically through metaphorical images and language, mainly as a reaction against naturalism and realism. So symbolism was a reaction against naturalism and realism which was prevailing at that time, right? In simple language, a symbol is a mark or a sign or a word that indicates, that signifies, that represents an idea, object or relationship, right? Even symbolism is a part of our daily life also. In our daily life, we can easily identify objects that can be taken as, we can say, that can be taken as an example of symbolism, right? As we have these examples like a red rose stands for love or romance, and then black is a symbol that represents evil or death. Then we have dove. It is a symbol of peace. There are many more, as a broken mirror, it symbolizes separation. All these examples are from day-to-day life, right? In literature, we can say it is the use of an object, person, situation or word to represent something else, like an idea, right? For example, we can say money and time are two different things. This is an example of symbolism. Money and time are two different things, right? This is an example of symbolism because these words show the importance of using money and time wisely. So this is an example of symbolism. When we're talking about symbolism in literature, let us take an example from literature. First of all, As You Like It. Here we find symbolic value in Shakespeare's famous monologue. All the world is a stage, all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, right? These lines are from As You Like It, in which in these lines are, we can say, symbolic of the fact that men and women in the course of their lives perform different roles. All the men and women merely players. They are merely players and they have many parts to play, right? And a stage, the word here used is stage and then players. Now these words are symbolically used in these. So these two words, Shakespeare wants to say that stage here symbolizes the world and players as a symbol for human beings, right? Then we have this from William Wordsworth, my heart leaps up when I behold, right? Here he writes, William Wordsworth, my heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began, so is it now I am a man, so be it when I shall grow old, right? In this poem, Wordsworth uses rainbow. Here, rainbow is used as a symbol of hope, and general well-being through his life, right? Then next question arises in our mind, why a writer uses symbolism, or what we can say, what is the function of symbolism, right? It is symbolism which gives a writer freedom to add double levels of meanings. One is literal and other is symbolic, right? One literal self-evident, as I already told, and the symbolic one whose meaning is far more deep than the literal one, right? This is the function of symbolism, that it gives freedom to add double levels of meanings. Then the next function we can say, symbolism gives universality to the characters, right? It evokes interest in readers. Through this, they find an opportunity to get an insight into writer's mind, what is going in his mind, right? And through symbolism, we come to know about the writer, how he views the world, how he thinks of common objects and actions with broader mind. Right? And symbols, we can say these are keys to the writer's mind. In simple words, we can say these are the keys. And with symbols, the reader better understands the deeper meaning of the text, right? For example, here I would like to cite one example from Lord of the Flies. In Lord of the Flies, the spears sharpened on each end that the hunters carry later on certainly points to the increasing savagery which lies in the boys in the beginning of the narrative, right? Symbols, we can say, lend a universal meaning and grandeur to the theme and characters of a literary work. In addition, symbols often unite theme and characters together in narrative also. Then William Shakespeare used symbols to represent inner conscience when we think of blood in Macbeth, right? Then on the other side, we can see that Edgar Allan Poe used it to commit dread and morality, whereas Shakespeare used it to represent inner conscience. Then we have William Blake, he used these religious symbols to represent human emotion and desire. So these symbols are used by different poets or writers in their own way. Now how they used is, even Virginia Woolf also uses this, and how these are used by this is another topic to discuss. So I would like to discuss in another video. I hope you will like the content, and if you like it, please hit the bell button. Hit the like button, also hit the bell button so that you can get notifications from my upcoming videos. And thanks a lot for watching.